The car that pulled into the Okafor compound that Sunday morning was not the black Jeep from Onitsha. It was a Lagos taxi hired for the full journey. Inside it, a 32-year-old woman named Chidinma Obi, who was not related to Chief Obi from Anambra, different Obi entirely, and who had spent the entire 4-hour journey from Lagos to Owerri telling her daughter that she was about to meet her grandmother. The daughter, 3.5 years old, with natural hair in 2 puffs and a green Ankara dress, had asked approximately 14 times during the journey, "Is Grandma nice?" And Chidinma had answered each time, "Yes, she is nice." She did not know Mama Okafor personally, but from everything Emeka had told her, from the way he spoke about his mother, with that particular combination of awe and love that sons carry for certain mothers, she had decided that yes, Grandma was nice. The car stopped. The doors opened. Adaeze stepped out of the car onto the red Owerri soil, looked at the compound, looked at the guava tree, looked at the 3 steps up to the front door with a crack in the second step. And then the front door opened, and Mama Okafor came out. Adaeze looked at the woman coming toward her. Then she looked back at her mother, then back at the woman. And then, with the absolute undefended confidence of a 3-year-old who has been told someone is nice, she walked forward and held up her arms. Chidinma Obi was not a villain in this story. She was a 28-year-old medical student in London. She had gone back to school after Adaeze was born, funded in part by Emeka's consistent financial support. She was building a life. She was a good mother. She was not angry. She had agreed to bring Adaeze to Owerri because Emeka had asked her properly, and because she believed, despite everything that had happened between them, that a child should know her father's family, that a child should have roots on both sides. That love for a child is not diminished by the fact that the 2 adults who made her could not make a life together. She sat in the Okafor parlor with the careful poise of someone walking into a room they have prepared for but cannot fully predict. Mama Okafor sat across from her. The 2 women looked at each other. Then Mama Okafor said, "Thank you for bringing her." 3 words. The same weight they always carry in this family. Chidinma nodded. "Thank you for wanting her," she said. Adaeze discovered the guava tree within 10 minutes of arriving. And then she discovered the kitchen and the smell of jollof rice, which she tried to trace like a detective. And then she discovered Adaeze, who crouched down to her eye level and said, "My name is Adaeze. I am your auntie. Your name is Adaeze. That is almost the same as mine. Did you know that?" Adaeze stared at her. Then she said, "Your name is big." Adaeze laughed. A real laugh, the first full laugh anyone had heard from her since Emeka arrived. And the sound of it seemed to loosen something in the whole compound. Papa Okafor met his granddaughter in the parlor. He sat in his chair. She was brought to him. He looked at her for a long moment, the long, careful look of an elder assessing a new life, and then he said to nobody in particular, "She has Emeka's eyes." And he opened his arms. And Adaeze, who had been told Grandpa was nice, climbed into them without hesitation. Emeka watched this from the doorway, standing between his old world and everything he had built in London, between the man he had left as and the man he had become, between the mistakes and the corrections, between the secrets he had carried and the truth he had finally put down. He watched his daughter in his father's arms. And for the first time in a very long time, he felt like he had actually come home. After lunch, after the jollof rice and the pepper soup and the small chops that Mama Okafor had been planning since the morning, the adults gathered in the parlor to talk about what came next. The conversation was led, in the way these things go in Owerri, by Papa Okafor. He spoke calmly and without accusation. "We have a situation," he said. "And situations require plans. Not complaints, plans. So let us plan." He laid it out. 1. The traditional marriage ceremony between Emeka and Ifeoma had not happened. It would happen. Chief Obi and the Obi family of Onitsha would be contacted formally. The Okafor family would present themselves correctly and completely. The ceremony would be done properly, in the order that tradition required, so that the marriage would be blessed from both sides. 2. Adaeze was a member of this family. She would be known as such. She would visit. She would be loved. Her mother Chidinma would be respected, not as a daughter-in-law, not with awkwardness or hostility, but as the mother of a member of this family. That is a relationship that deserves its own respect. 3. Emeka's treatment. He would receive full support. Ifeoma had the information and would coordinate. Mama Okafor would not ask every day, she knew her son, but she would call every Tuesday and Friday, and on those calls she expected honest answers. Papa Okafor looked around the room when he finished. "Is there anything I have missed?" he asked. Mama Okafor said, "You missed the part where your son apologizes properly." Papa Okafor looked at Emeka. Emeka stood up. He looked at his mother, then his father, then Adaeze, then across the room at Chidinma, who was sitting quietly by the window, then at Ifeoma beside him. "I am sorry," he said, "to each of you for the specific things I did not say when I should have said them. Mama, for 8 years of edited truth that cost you sleep. Papa, for not calling the year I was struggling because I was too proud to fail in front of you. Adaeze, for letting you defend me without giving you the full picture. Chidinma, for every month that Adaeze has been real to me but invisible to my family. And Ifeoma, for starting a marriage by bringing you to a room full of things you didn't fully know. You deserved better." Silence. Then Adaeze said, "Are you finished?" "Yes," he said. "Good," she said. "Because that was the right apology. Not too long, not too short. Specific. I accept it." She looked around at everyone. "I think we all accept it," she said. Mama Okafor and Emeka sat under the guava tree as the Owerri afternoon turned golden. The compound was peaceful. The generator was off for a while. The birds were talking to each other in the tree above them. Somewhere in the compound, Adaeze and Ifeoma were laughing about something in the kitchen. Mama Okafor looked at her son. She had been waiting for this moment, the quiet one after everything, since he walked through the airport arrivals door. "Tell me about London," she said. "Not the hard parts. You have told us enough hard parts for now. Tell me what you loved about it." He was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. "The morning," he said. "In autumn. When the leaves change and the whole city turns orange and gold. It looks like Owerri sunset a little. Like someone brought Owerri to England and put it in the trees." Mama Okafor listened. "And the Nigerian community there," he continued. "People from everywhere, Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Delta people, mixed people, all crammed into Peckham and Brixton and Hackney, speaking 3 languages in one sentence. Cooking jollof at midnight. It is home at a distance. It is not the same as this. But it carries something of this." She was watching him carefully. "Do you want to go back?" she asked. He looked at her. "Yes," he said. "Ifeoma's life is there. My treatment is there. My work is there. And Adaeze is there also. But she will come here. We will bring her. We will not let her grow up not knowing this compound, this guava tree, this family." Mama Okafor nodded slowly. "Good," she said. "Because I have already told her that the guava tree is partly hers. She believed me immediately." He laughed. And she laughed with him. The real laughter of a woman who has been through something and is, for this moment, on the other side of it. She reached over and held his hand. "I prayed for you," she said. "Every day for 8 years. I did not always know what I was praying for because I did not know what you were going through. But God knows where the prayer needs to go even when the person praying does not." He held her hand back. "I know, Mama," he said. "I felt it. Even in Peckham at the bottom of things. I felt something." She squeezed his hand. "You are home now," she said. "Even when you go back you are home now. Because you have left nothing behind. No secrets. No locked rooms. That is the difference between a visit and a homecoming." He nodded. The Owerri afternoon continued above them. Warm and golden. The guava tree steady and old. The compound that had been waiting 8 years for this particular moment of quiet. By evening, the yard had become what yards in Owerri become on Sunday evenings when the family is all home. Papa Okafor had brought his chair outside. Adaeze had organized the drinks. Chidinma was sitting with Mama Okafor, the two of them talking in low voices about the kind of things that women talk about when they are arranging the future. Ifeoma was sitting with Papa Okafor discussing his engineering career in a way that made him straighten in his chair and become animated. And Emeka was on the grass under the guava tree with Adaeze, who had woken from her nap and demanded to be outside. She was sitting in his lap. He was showing her something in the tree, a bird's nest, tucked in the fork of the old branch, with 3 small eggs in it. 3 eggs, he said to her. 3 babies waiting to come out. She stared at the nest with the focused intensity of a 3-year-old studying something important. When will they come? She asked. Soon, he said. When they are ready. She considered this. Papa, she said. Yes. Is this your tree? It was, he said. When I was small. I used to climb it. Now it is mine, she said. He looked at her. The wide, clear, absolute certainty of a child claiming what is hers. Yes, he said. Now it is yours. The Owerri evening came in around them. Orange and gold and warm. Neighbors passing on the road outside. The sound of another family's television. Church bell somewhere. The full, ordinary, extraordinary music of a Nigerian evening. Mama Okafor looked across the yard at her son and her granddaughter under the guava tree. She looked at them for a long moment. Then she looked up, past the tree, past the compound wall, at the Owerri sky that was turning the exact color of memory. And she breathed out. The way you breathe out when something you have been holding for a very long time has finally, properly, come home. The Baobab's final lesson. Deciduous tree, the sun came back different. That is true. But different is not lost. A tree grows differently in a storm than it grows in calm weather. It bends in ways the farmer did not plan. But if the roots are deep, it does not fall. The roots of the Okafor family are deep. They held. Home is not the place that stays the same while you are away. Home is the place that holds the door open, asks the hard questions, and then sits with you under the guava tree until the evening is gone. The son who came back different came back to a family that loved him through the difference. That is not a small thing. That is everything. If this story moved you, if the Okafor family reminded you of something or someone you know, then sit back down. Because the next story under the Baobab tree is about a different kind of homecoming. A daughter who left her family's village after a terrible wrong was done to her. A village that whispered about her for 15 years. And the day she came back, not to ask for forgiveness, but to build a school on the land they said she could never claim. Her name is Ugochi. And her story begins next time right here under the talking Baobab. If you have not yet watched The Child They Tried to Hide, the episodes are waiting for you. If you are new to this tree, welcome. The fire is always burning. We are always here.